Hi, everybody. This is Cermak, trainer extraordinaire here at Keller Williams Realty Professionals in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Today's class, we're going to be focusing on KW Connect, the KW website powered by Placester, and this is the advanced class. I want to take your website to the next level. So to get started, we're going to go to Technology and KW website to get into the KW website. When we're here, we're going to go to my website. Now, for those watching from home, I have a handout that I give. If you would like a copy of the handout, feel free to email me, j.cermak@kw.com, and I will email you the PDF of the handout. This is what the back end of the KW website powered by Placester looks like. So everything we're going to do is here under Edit Site. So the goal of today's class, like I said, is to add content to your website. You should already have the basics of it set up, where you've told them who you are, a little bit about what your homes are that you're looking at on here, and that's really the basic setup. Now we want to add pages, content, to learn how to, have a page on what are home values going for, to have a page on areas, to have testimonials, all that great content to the website. Now, my website I've already taken to the advanced level, so if you want to check out mine, it's jsellsfortlauderdale.com, and the way I have my site set up are all these extra tabs here were just pages that I created and added all the content together. You're going to learn today how to do that, what a page is, and how to add videos, text, photos, all that great content. Now, one of the most important things to understand about these pages is going to be in your little handout here about what we call site info, the SEO meta title and meta descriptions. So any page that we go to, I'm going to go ahead and just click on one. The basic makeup of a page is always going to start off with kind of this same layout. At the bottom of every page, you're going to start seeing SEO, which is search engine optimization, and there's a field for meta title and meta description. The simplest way to understand this is meta title is just what are you telling Google that the title of this page is, and meta description is what about this page is important. To simply put it, if I came to Google and looked myself up, this is the title here of whatever I have, like this is from Yelp, here's from MapQuest, Facebook, different places, and then this is the meta description. It's not long, it's about 155 characters. So you want to pay attention to those because they're at the bottom of every page. It's an opportunity to make sure you've got your phone number there, that you might have some information about you. It's going to be on every page that we go to, and that's why on your handout I put it as kind of the second thing to look at. Making sure you always have your meta title and meta description here because you're basically just telling Google how to index your page and how to pull it up. Now, if you leave this blank, it'll guess on what information is on your page. So if you don't put a meta title here, it'll pull what title it already has. And if you don't put a description, it'll pull one automatically. The difference here is you can control what is seen here and actually put like a phone number first or put, that you serve South Florida, whatever it is. You have the ability to control the description if you write it in. That's why I always want to point that out at the bottom of every page. So how do we create pages? Well, when you come to pages here, everything we did in the setup class is under site settings. This is really how you programmed the website. Pages are where you're going to have some pages already created for you. I recommend you start with the pages that you have and just tweak them. So the first one's going to be your About page. This is a great opportunity to come in and edit your About page and add your photos, your biography. All Keller Williams agents have a general About page that has kind of the same nicely written description, but it's not about you personally. It's just a general statement of we are here to help you, we're the best professionals, something along those lines. So I'll go ahead and click edit so you can see mine. Under edit here, the page title was just about, I left it the same, and then page content, what I did was this is where they had Keller Williams' description was here, and all I did was kind of add my own up at the top. Added text, added photos. I'm going to show you the basic makeup of it, but this would be a page that you'd want to edit to make sure your information is here. The basic makeup of every page kind of has the same options. Template is what template do you want to have the page be? And we're going to spend a lot of time in templates real quick so that you can then decide what page you want to create and what is the best template for that page. So on the handout, I actually broke down to what every description was because you don't need all these templates. Don't be overwhelmed by them. The default template is really just going to be, I'll pull up a page here about us. The default template is content on the left, and on the right-hand side is a list search to search for a property and a simple get in touch form. That's the basic, and actually it's the same for most of these. It's also the about pages template is the same content. So everything you type is going to be on the left of the page, and then on the right it's going to have a search bar and a contact me form. We'll come back to the agent index one. Agent index is your ability to have multiple agents if you're a team, or in my case, I approach things as a team while I'm a single agent. I included our mortgage people and insurance and home inspectors. I use the team page to kind of put my vendors on it because everything I do, I approach it as a team. Area index we'll come back to as well. Area index just takes all the areas, Fort Lauderdale page, cities, counties, whatever I put, and puts it in one place. Notice that it's a difference between a page and an index. An index is just going to be one page with all the little cities or all the little people there. Blog post index, I don't really need to create one because there already is one by default. It already has 4 blog posts written for you. So we'll come back to that one. Client profile you don't need to use. I'm not sure why it's a template because that's when your clients create their own account. It's the page that they're going to see. So I don't really mess with that one. Contact page is a form that I do like using. The difference between a contact page and the about page is under contact page, I'll come here to my home value. I used contact page for this, is no bar on the right. It's all open space. And then at the bottom, it's a contact me form, yet this time it's got my picture next to it. I kind of like how this one looks to reach out to somebody. So a contact page leaves the top blank, so you're not worried about what column fits anywhere in case your search bar on the right gets in the way of your content. And then you just type in your information up above it, and at the bottom of the page will always be a contact you form. So I use this as an example for a home valuation site because there isn't a page here to make a home value. And typically the home value pages are just give me an address and I'll give you the home value on my own. So I took the advantage of putting in some content here, and at the bottom of the page they just contact me and put in the comment section what their address is. That way I can have a conversation with them and do a proper CMA to find out what their value really is for their home. So that's a great use of the contact page. Listing search page, you already have one. We'll show you that one as well. Testimonial index, you will want this if you plan to do testimonials. Testimonial index will just make one page of all the testimonials together, and then there's some other cool things you can do with testimonials. We're going to go into the details on that. Featured listing page. This is a cool page if you set it up properly. Featured listing page would be a great one if you have a lot of listings. I'll show you how we can program it, or in my case, since I don't have listings currently, I use this for the office listings. And then an RSS feed index is if you have a website that still does what we call an RSS feed, it's just putting blog posts automatically in a page. You can use that if you know what the index feeding is. It's not as common anymore. I don't use it on my site, but if you know of a RSS feed that you want to have feeding in from Realtor.com or some website that does it, you can have content feeding into that page from there.
Can you help us set that up?
What?
Can you help us set that up?
That one's tricky. If you know where one is, I can show you, but in this case, I haven't really used it. So I don't use that kind of, because that kind of feed and method, I guess, it's just not as common as it used to be. It was a big thing to have blogs like automatically posted on sites from other places. I'd have to play with it more to really properly help you on it.
That increased your search engine optimization?
Not necessarily, because they're the ones getting all the Google juice for that. You would just have a page of, hey, I'm regurgitating the content, and if you come to this page, you might see it as well. So it's better for you to create your own content than just to keep repeating stuff coming in. All right, that's the pages there. So I'm going to come back to pages here. Those are the different templates that we would want to use. So I would edit the about page. Blog here is actually the blog index. There's nothing you can do to this page. If you come into it, it's literally blank, yet you'll want to come in here so you can add your meta title and meta description. Here's, which I didn't do yet, so I'll go ahead and add it in now. Check out real estate blog from the J team at Keller Williams, Realty Professionals. I can put in here happening in the real estate So you always want to make sure that your pages do have them. I'd come in and edit these. But you're going to have some basic one. Notice mine says home search. Yours will say listing search. My issue with the word listing search is I think listings is a real estate term and not a consumer term. If I was just Joe Schmo who wasn't in real estate, I'm not going to go out there and say, I hope I can find some listings today. I'm going to say, I hope I can find a home for sale or something like that. So you can change this. You can edit this page and rename it. I did that and changed it from listing search, even though the template's listing search, to now say the word home search. So my menu says home search or property search or whatever you want to use. I'd recommend you can change it or you can leave it alone. It's your choice. That's just my opinion. Now I added under here for meta title, search homes for sale in Broward County, Florida, courtesy of the J team with Keller Williams. Even I have to come in and update these once in a while. Keller Williams, Realty Professionals. And the goal of this is just, I'm telling Google if someone found my site, they'd be able to see this description, this title, about what the website does. Search homes for sale in Broward County, homes for sale in Fort Lauderdale, homes for sale here, that kind of content. All right, that's creating that page. So looking at my site, what we just did was home search. Here's my home search. It's the ability to search for homes. And now because it said home search, that's the option. Otherwise, if you did listing search, it would say listings. Listing search there. So following our outline, the next common thing people want to add, blog posts. So coming to blog on your website, you'll have the general ones that are already created. I had an issue with the photo didn't load earlier, but normally I have a photo, I have content in my blog so that it looks visually good here. And then inside the blog post, it'll have content. Yes.
Do the ones that automatically load, do they change regularly? It
No,
just
the
stays
ones-
the same ones and they're set, and if you want anything new, you have to add it.
Correct. Yeah. So what you're saying is in the blog posts themselves, I'll go to the oldest one. It's actually the first few. So the first 4 here were already written by Keller Williams, and then I added, enhanced them. So those do not change. They don't get updated right now. You have to either manually add blogs or just have a couple here. It's your choice. There's no wrong answer if you want a blog or don't want a blog. You can even remove the blogs if you don't want them on your site if you're not going to keep updating it. At the end of the day, people stay on your website for content. You gave them something of value. And a blog is just an easy way to do that. It doesn't have to be fancy. My blogs come from another site. I use their content to help me write the blog to save time. Yet if I was more purposeful about it and just took like today's common questions, how do I get approved for a mortgage? What's it like for an inspection? What to expect? Something like that are easy questions you know the answers to. Just write those out. It's not about being perfect, or you can share someone else's blog and then just say your opinion about it. It's an opportunity for them to get to know you and how you would handle things. So those are the first few. The main one just says relocating to the big city is the title of this one. So I changed it to relocating to Fort Lauderdale. Or you can say changing it to relocating to South Florida, Broward. It's anything that you want to change it to. So this is one that they had created for Keller Williams. Relocating to Fort Lauderdale. What I did here is I went into the content. We're going to show you how to do that. And I added a quick video about just touring the city. When it comes to these area pages, when it comes to anything about a city itself, either create a video about that city or use the travel ones. They're not branded to an agent. So this is a video that I put in there. I'll show you how to do it in a second.
Did you create the video?
Do I? I'm sorry?
Is this your video?
No, this is a video from a travel magazine, travel site. Did a video on traveling to Fort Lauderdale, exploring the sunny city of Fort Lauderdale. I just like the video the visualization of it. People like to see where am I moving to. So if this is a blog about relocating to Fort Lauderdale, it makes sense to have a video about what to expect in Fort Lauderdale.
Do you have to credit it, or is it already
No, the
credited
good news
in?
is if it's a YouTube video, YouTube's automatic policy is it's the right to share it everywhere. So I don't need permission to share the site. The trick with that though is make sure you don't share some other agent's video, because then they're the one who's going to get a call at the end. So I try to make it either a general, maybe the city's done a video, or a travel video, or make my own video. That way I'm the only person they contact within the video. That's the one thing I would say. But no, there's no copyrights if it's a YouTube video. So they already had most of this article written. I kind of just changed in some of the words. I think most of this I kept the same, because really the basics are the same. Research before you move, have a plan, get involved. I mean, it's a great article. What I did is I just added Fort Lauderdale in here, and I added a call to action at the bottom of it. So any blog that you have should have good content and some kind of call to action in there. Like mine's, if you're looking to relocate to Fort Lauderdale, contact me, and here's my number or my email address. You know, I've got other things that I add within it. The goal is here's free content for you to read, yet I want the opportunity for you to either contact me or click here for this or that. So we'll come into the blogging portion of it here in a second. So the basic makeup of all of this pages is the same. Every page is going to ask you for a title. When you create a title, it's going to create what they call a slug. Don't worry if the beginning part of this is not your actual website. It's just kind of the placeholder here. It'll be your website slash and whatever comes after the slash. So the interesting thing to understand is if you type it in the title, it instantly becomes the slug. You can't edit it and change this. You'd want to make sure your titles are clear and concise or smaller before you put it in there, because that just becomes the page. So in my case, it would be jsellsfortlauderdale.com slash relocating to Fort Lauderdale FL, because it was auto created. So when it comes to content, now this is a blog that was already written and I enhanced it. So we have these little controls right here. The controls will be HTML. So if you have a code from another website or any HTML coding you want to add to a page itself, not every code works. So if you were on a website that says here's a widget to, show you schools, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yes.
We had and I'm assuming it's the same way with the blog as it would have been for your about page, where you had your picture kind of within the text. How do you do that on these pages?
We can do that as well. This blog post template doesn't automatically have like about the author or have me in there. I can add my picture though to anything. So it's going to be within these controls up above. So I'm going to go across them. We'll get the pictures down here. So the first thing would be HTML. If I click this button, it means here's the code that programs the website with the coding of how it's going to look. So don't worry about having to understand the coding language. If you ever have to do HTML coding, it's just copy and paste. Copying a code from one website and pasting it into yours. If you need to do that, that's why you'd use this little source icon, HTML. Formatting is your ability to say normal text if it's a quote, a header 3 and a header 4. Header 3 is larger and a header 4 is more like a subheading. I don't like the terminology of it, yet it would be larger heading, smaller heading. Quote would just literally take your content and indent it to the right and give it little quotes around it. And then normal text is just clearly normal text. From there, you can format the basics of the text, bold, italic, and underline. You can add unordered lists, it's just literally bullet points, or a numbered list. That's the two main ones there. That's pretty much just standard Microsoft Word. How do you modify the text that you have? From there, links is actually a cool thing because I use links a lot to throw something in there like click here to search for homes for sale. If you click the link button and insert a link, it's just going to say what's the website you want to go to and then what text you want to be displayed. So I can actually do this from my website. Let's pull up Fort Lauderdale as a neighborhood. Since this blog is about Fort Lauderdale homes, it would make sense to have in here the URL, and then I'll say search Fort Lauderdale homes for sale. That way they'll see this text in the body, and if they click it, it'll take them to that website or that page. Now, I always use open link in new tab because what that does keeps them on my page and opens a separate tab for the search. That way, my page is always in the background. That way, I never worry about them leaving my website and never coming back. You can use that same link option for maybe the Broward County tax record site or what's happening in the city. I mean, you can point it anywhere. Google likes it if you tell them here's other resources that will help you. Yet I don't want them to leave my website to go look at it. So that's why I always use open link in new tabs so they stay on my website and they look at that website as well.
Do you get leads from your website?
Yes, I do. It's sharing it out there. I get people who come in there finding me on Google. I get a lot for Facebook because I do a lot of posting for my blogs and different things. I get quite a bit of traffic. So here's the link itself. Now my trick with the link is it's kind of small. It doesn't stand out. I usually change the formatting of the link to something larger, like a header 4, because now it's really prominent in my text. But now I've got just in the middle of the article, it's kind of where it should be, either at the beginning, middle, or end. Not everybody's going to read to the bottom. I'd love it if they did, yet the reality is, as humans now, our behavior is we kind of scroll a little bit and then we stop. So make sure you've got call to actions throughout here, like contact me today to see what homes are for sale. Search homes for sale in Fort Lauderdale, a link. Then also contact me down below. So that's the basic part of the blog for that part of it. Then I've got photos. So if I want to insert a picture, I can actually click on the upload image icon and just either drag the file into here or just choose it from the computer. So I can add any picture that I want. In your case, Nicole, if you wanted to add your picture at the bottom of the blog post, I could add my picture all the way at the bottom. Here's my ending of it, and then I can throw in my picture if I wanted to say contact Jay today. But that's the actual icon that will say upload image from your computer. And then the other one is inserting video from YouTube. So the difference with inserting the video, the photo, does that make sense in the photo? I know that's what you're asking.
More what I'm asking, because I found my photo, right, and I'm trying to stick it in, but it's above the writing, and you have
Perfect.
it
I got you.
inside.
I got what you're saying. Okay, so what you're talking about, I'm going to just pull this image because I have one. So what Nicole was talking about is that we added an image of any kind, like I just added one for Keller Cloud. So what you want to do once you have the image, if you want the text to go around it, that's what you're asking. If you click on edit here, you do get the ability to title the picture, add a link to the picture as well. And then what you're talking about is position. If you put position to left, the text will go around your face.
Where did you push edit?
Once you click on the actual image itself, there'll be an edit button.
Oh, so
That edit button there, and then you would do position to the left will actually then do the text around your picture will be on the left and the text will be around your picture.
do I still need to title it?
You can. It's not a bad idea because if anything, you're telling Google, here's the title. So I'm doing this as a test. I'll just say test. You can put a link to it as well. If you do a link, like I always tell you, open in a new tab and save it. See, if I resize my picture now, it's going around it. So what Nicole wanted to do is have her picture on the left, the text going around her on the right to say, contact me today. Yes, you can do that. Now the video, I already added a video here. When inserting video, the trick with here is it needs to be a YouTube video or a Vimeo link. It's the only two options they let you do. Vimeo is just another service like YouTube. I prefer YouTube because it's a Google product and Google loves themselves. So you're more likely to find your video when you search Google because the video is going to show up because it's their product. So there's something to keep in mind there. So I'll come to YouTube and I'll find that exact video I used there. So I'm going to search Fort Lauderdale. I can just say Fort Lauderdale tour. Let's see what comes up. So that was from 3 years ago. Here's from 2. That's just a travel agent. I could pick any of these videos. Here's a guide to sightseeing in Fort Lauderdale. I just want to make sure it's not going to be another agent if I were to click on the video. Whatever video you pick, it doesn't matter. Here's an Expedia one. I'm sure this will be good. I can watch the whole video, make sure it goes through there. So what it's asking me to do on the KW website here, it says copy the link and paste it. Now I can do that by simply clicking share on any video, and I can copy the link right from here. Yet here's the trick. If I copy the link from there, it's going to play the video, yet it sometimes gives you suggestions at the end. So what I have learned to do that works better for me is I actually come to embed, and under embed it has the option to show more. It's kind of a hidden feature. Under show more, make sure this is unchecked. Show suggested videos when video finishes. Unfortunately, YouTube thinks it's clever and will give you suggestions. So if it's a real estate video, it might start showing me videos of another agent, might show me other real estate homes, or a lot of times what tends to happen is it starts showing inappropriate videos that may not be what I want my client to see. So we want to be careful of that. If you make sure that that's unchecked, and I copy this link in here, copy, and paste it in there, then when it inserts my video in, my video will play, and when it's done, it just comes right back to what you see right here. At the end, it doesn't say, next up, watch this, or it doesn't give me suggestions. It just stops. That's the better way, I think, to have the video go, because I just want to show them something and then stay on my website, don't leave, go from there. I'll go ahead and leave it in here because it's just another video. I don't think anyone will be upset by reading a blog about relocating to Fort Lauderdale and seeing 2 videos. So that's really the controls up there. It's actually very simple. If you're going to do a blog, I recommend don't write it in here. Type it out in Word first. Get your have it read by someone else. Make sure you're checking your spelling, all that kind of stuff. Just write it out. Then copy and paste it in. While you're in here, once you copy and paste it in, then come and add things like links and videos and photos to kind of push things along the way. Like I can add a little search icon here, and then I can add like a map plan, or I can enhance this in other ways. We're now a visual society. I'm not even sure people would want to read the whole thing unless they purposely want to know about relocating to Fort Lauderdale.
Is there an attachment or something that allows you to search, or like not search, but like automatically send the blog to Facebook and Twitter and
Not from here. I'll show you. We'll pull up a blog of what it looks like on the website. So I enhanced this one. Oh, I didn't finish it too, by the way. There's 2 other things within the blog. So that's the content, right? We did the title. That title gave it the slug. Then I've got my content down below. And the next thing that's important is what we call an excerpt. If you don't put an excerpt here, it doesn't ruin anything. It just means if you were to share this on Facebook, it would copy an excerpt from whatever I typed up above. I wouldn't necessarily have the control over it, so you can control. To me, I usually just kind of copy the first line or something important from the article, and I just paste it here under excerpt. So pasting it there, it's the same content I had, making sure it's updated. It's just a shortened version that will show up if you share this anywhere. An important thing, though, is featured image. So I've got a featured image here of a city. I probably want to change this out to Fort Lauderdale. I'll do that when I have the photos ready to go. But you would just choose a photo from your computer and insert an image in here. The image is important because on your website, when you're under blog, that's what's going to add images here. If I don't add an image, like today's post, I didn't add an image because the system wasn't letting me, it will look like this, which is not very appealing. Yet when I do a post with pictures, it kind of stands out better. It's an important reason why you kind of want an image. I've seen other people doing the different blog posts on their website. Try to keep your images the same size. If they're different sizes, you'll see blog posts kind of look weird on the page. Always make it the same size. And you can always remove a photo too if you don't want it on.
Can I add something to that?
Yes.
Always make them the same size and put them in the same place and make them go to one side. And if you're going to use an outline, pick it out the first time and use the same outline every single time.
Yep. You got it. So the whole goal is just to get this stuff in here, but the featured image is important. It shows up there, and it shows up when you're inside a post. So I'm going to go to, let's see, I've got a lot of posts. Let's see how far I can get in there. I'm trying to get to this post, but it's my oldest post, and I've been using this for a few years now, or over a year. It's October 13. Phew, I got a lot of posts. Here we go. Almost. So the blog we're working on right now is this one, my oldest blog, on page 14 of my blogs here. So you want to make sure you have your featured image. And then, of course, like I've already been telling you, the meta title, meta description. What is the title of this page? So mine's Relocating to the Fort Lauderdale by J. Cermak, Realtor with the J team at Keller Williams Realty Professionals. And then what is the actual description? I didn't put much on here except I discussed relocating to Fort Lauderdale and my phone number. There's other ways you could find just content online, like Lori Ballin has a lot of good content, or just Google better descriptions for meta descriptions. This is really a basic one. What would I sell if I found it in Google? I've been finding putting your phone number in there has helped people because maybe they don't want to go to the blog, but if they're looking for Jay and they couldn't find me, they'd be able to see my phone number quickly without having to go to the website. So we'll go ahead and save that to update it. I'm now going to come into this article that we've added some new content to. So featured image also does this. Even though it's on my other page, it kind of adds a banner up above versus just being text here. There's no wrong way to it. I kind of like the photo mainly because on the blog side of it, it looks good. Now, the blog post uses basically the basic template. Content on the left, and on the right-hand side, a listing search to search for a property, and a simple get in touch form. Here's the blog. I had the content. The video's in here. Here's my search homes link. If I click this link, notice a new tab opens, and it's my Fort Lauderdale home page for them to go to. Then I added that video here at the end. If I hit play, the nice thing about these videos is they stay on your website, and once it ends, I'll go all the way to the end so we can see it.
Have you had any issues with the videos being removed or?
Not very often. Most of the time, if it's already been on YouTube, see how it ends right where it started. That's why if you use embedding the video, it does a better job than just posting the link. Usually we'll start trying to play another video, and you can't control what content it shows the consumer. No, I haven't had many videos that have been removed. I mean, if you know it's going to be a copyright issue from one, remove that. Typically, it stays on YouTube for years. Like this Expedia one's from 3 years ago. Once it's here, it's there. Which is also good news too, because if you use a video that has a lot of views and a lot of stuff, it helps with your Google ranking as well, because you use something that's already been proven as good content to people, and now you're just sharing it with other people. Now you can use the icons below if you want to actually share it from here, but that's not the way I normally post it from here to Facebook or any of those sites. If I click share, it just opens up a simple window and says, okay, we'll type out your content. Normally I want to write a bigger description, and I have a video on how to actually do that on my Facebook video. But that's the basic makeup of a blog. So if I choose the one I did earlier today where it didn't have a photo, I'll show you the difference. There's no little banner. See, it's just like how fast can you save money for down payment. Here's the image in the thing. Scroll down to the content. Oh, I didn't even finish that one. So it's not as flashy, I think, or as exciting if you don't have an image. Does that make sense? From the blogging post, how to add those, and the content. It's really the same for every kind of page you're going to add. It needs a title. You need your content. The difference in blogs is it needs an excerpt, and then meta title, meta description. It'll be the same concept through everything we create here. Another one will be agents. I won't spend a lot of time here, but the goal will be if you have a team. Now, I can add multiple people here as agents. What I chose to do was I have myself as an agent, and then I added the loan officers with Supreme Lending and a home inspector. If you do an agent, if you want to add agents to your site, you have to actually create a page first that says agent index, because if you don't create agent index, nobody knows how to get to that page. So showing you on my site what an agent index looks like, it'll be under About Us. I named it Meet Our Team. And really what it is it's an agent index. Here's me, here's the loan officers, here's home inspection, because you can add as many people as you want. If you get to a mega team or you want people, here's my admin, here's my buyer specialist. You can add anyone you want. The format is meant for real estate agents, but there's no rule on who you add to it. So if anyone came here, they'd be able to see, oh, he's got a team of people he's working with. Oh, I see, these are his vendors. I can use that list to say, check out my vendor list. That's what the agent index is. Once you create the agent index, if I don't check anything, these people will automatically add to my site every time I add one agent here. So if you're going to add an agent here, you need an agent index first. That's the whole point of me telling you that. So under agents, if I came here, we'll just edit mine. I'm not going to start from scratch. So this is my agent page, it's a little bit different than my about page. If you're not going to use agents, then just use the about page. If you want to add people like vendors and other stuff and use that, then I would use this format. So who are you? I would put your name and title. So if it's an insurance person, I'd say their name, insurance rep. If it's mortgage, name, comma, mortgage rep, give them the title and their name. Obviously, the content, description, and bio is just the same like we've been posting before. I added an image. If I want this image to go around the text, I can change the positioning to left. That way it's around the text a little bit better. All right. I added a video from YouTube, a greeting I have. It's an older one, but it still works. And I copied my biography that I had on another site. Then it's going to ask me what's my MLS ID number. So I put my MLS number. I don't think I need SL. What office location? Where are we at? Office phone number if you want to add one. I just put my cell phone in. Email address. And then what's my title? Should be a featured agent. You check it because you want to make sure you're featured everywhere. The neat thing is it kind of makes a nice simple contact form that I can add all my social media channels. So your website has the social media icons up above. The About Us or About Me is just a general page that says whatever I type in about it. The cool thing about the Meet Our Team version though, and if I pull up Cermak here, it'll actually show you all those links are in one view. That's why it's kind of a cool way to quickly look up a contact form and see if I want to connect with just Jay and see all the little links there, I can do that by adding them here. It uses a concept of Excerpt again, just like the blog was doing. Featured image, make sure your featured image is a square. Because on the website, it's going to turn into a circle. So see how Alan's starting to lose his hair here. Kim lost a little bit. It's not bad. Yet if they totally lost it, I'd want to crop their photo to a square so that it centers around their face. Just keep that in mind if you're going to use the featured image of this type of an agent page.
How do you have did you get a profile from each of them in order to put it on theirs? Like if you
Yeah, they actually already had one for their websites. Most of our vendors do. So I actually just went to their website. So Kim, Alan, and Sandra all have their own Supreme Lending website that had their photo and their biography. I copied and pasted it in. Make sure you get their permission, of course, but they were okay with it to say, hey, I want to talk about you as well. So I'll pick Alan's to show you the difference. Since he's not an agent, I used what information I had. I put in a logo. I used the image to put their logo there. This came from his biography. He had it already written. And then this is actually a picture of his own website. This is his site. If I go click here to learn about his site, it takes you to his Supreme Lending page where it updates its own statistic. Let's see how much it's changed. Yeah, it's still the same. And then I just inserted an image here to enhance it, just to make it look more like what his site would look. The difference is they can get in touch with me down below, but it's just giving them information. So it's just a different way that you can use the agent page if you haven't built a team yet. If you're thinking with the end in mind, one day I want to have a team, I want to keep adding people to it, or you don't have to use it at all. It's not required. I just like the About Me version of having a nice format here. Phone number, email me, and all my links in one little place, especially on a mobile phone. I think it just looks simple. Shrink it down. That's how it would look on my phone, so I can quickly just click on any of these links and get to the page for that person. So it's just a little bit different than the About Us. I don't have to try to add those links for everything. That would be using the agent index first, then coming here to agents, just clicking and adding all the people you want. I'm going to probably add more vendors, add more people to this, and keep growing the list. So the next one I want to talk about is then testimonials. You want to make sure you have testimonials. We're now a society that I don't buy anything off Amazon without reading a couple reviews. That's what we want to go off of. You know, I may want to work with you. If I don't know you personally, I'm going to want to read reviews or talk to somebody who's worked with you to find out about it. So testimonials are great to get. Mine are all right now electronic, but I know Matt Farrelly gets a lot of handwritten cards from his clients. Having a handwritten, like a picture of that handwritten card on your website is powerful. To show them, hey, here's what my client actually wrote about me. I'm not doctoring this. I didn't type it out. You know, our website isn't verifying anything. It's just whatever I type in. is what the consumer sees. Fortunately for these, I did actually have, these are real testimonials, 2 from Facebook and the other 2 were emails my clients had sent me. I just copied and pasted it in. So the first thing to understand, just like the agents, you need a page for testimonial index. You need this to then take all those testimonials and keep them on one page. So anytime you're creating all this content here, pages or blog posts, agents, testimonials, and areas, you always need the index page first so that you can see it. I already have one, so I'm going to come to pages and pull mine up. Let's see, page 2. Let's meet our team. 3. Find it. 4. It's not there. Testimonials. So my testimonials, there really wasn't anything fancy to do. I chose the testimonial index, and I want the title of the page to be testimonials. So when they're on my website, they would see testimonials like this, and when they came here, it'll give you a preview of each one on one screen. The cool thing about previews, or of the testimonials, is it actually shows up on your home screen too. They made this neat little widget. If you use the Madison template, that's what I'm in. Under featured properties, it'll actually do a widget of testimonials that will slide through down here. There's a checkbox that says make this a featured testimonial, and you'll see them kind of slide around. So it's kind of cool that it'll already be on your site. Here would be the blog post. It's kind of the way the home page is set up. However, that's just a couple of them. If they wanted to see all the testimonials, they can come here to see all of them. So create the testimonial page first, then come to testimonials and add a testimonial. I'll just edit one I already have. The makeup for testimonials is similar to a blog. What's the title? To me, I think it should be the client's name testimonial. You can say what it is, Bob and John's testimonial, whoever, it's there. Then I actually just copied this. It was actually a Facebook review, so I copied what was written on Facebook and I pasted it here. If you have an image of the actual house that's closing, if you want to add more to enhance it, you can add any content you want about the testimonial. Now, referrer name is important because if I don't put referrer name on my main page, this is where it's putting the referrer name. So when I'm on the actual home page, looking at the little widget spin around, once it's there, if I don't put the name, this is where it's actually getting that field from. It would just be blank there. So make sure you do put in referrer. Affiliation, I haven't filled in. I'm not quite sure what it's for. I can just say family friend, client, something along that line. That's the box you want it to be on your home page. Should this testimony be featured? If it's checked, it'll be on your home page. Excerpt, you do want an excerpt because that's going to show up on the home page to show you a mini portion of it and click here to read more. So just like in the blog, I would just take a portion of it or maybe the best line I liked in it and I would paste it there. Image, if you have one, you would want it to be a featured image. So this actually came from Facebook, and I used an image to make sure it's a square again because just like everything else on the website, it's going to make a circle around their face. If you don't have an image, it just literally does a dash next to them. So what I learned to do is I went to the free clip art and found a simple red house or blue house, whatever, an icon. If you don't have a picture for them, put some kind of icon. So these two had pictures, and then the next two, I used the same icon for everything. Come on. There we go. I just found a nice little red house on the freeclipart.com that I can use and have the rights to it, or create your own little image, and then that way, that's the logo next to the name. That's why it's kind of important to have a photo of some kind. And then, of course, your meta description and your meta title. And then you save it. Once you look at the actual testimonial, so I'll click here to read more. That was my excerpt, and then this is the full page. What's the title of the page? What's the content, picture, and who is this person?
If you do it as a saved draft, does it allow you to preview it before you post it?
No,
Or-
saving as a draft will just let you come back to it and say, let me come back and edit it. You won't be able to see it. However, just add it down there, and if it doesn't look right, delete it real quick or change it, and you can modify it very easily. So that makes sense, kind of how everything's kind of being the same. Blog post, agents, and testimonials are really kind of the same format. figure out what you want to add. It takes time. Don't worry, you don't have to. This did not happen overnight. I added pages along the way. For blogging was there. I just added more blog posts. The About Us testimonials. I need to get more. Different content there. So areas is the main thing people want to add. How do I add a page for this area? Since it's an area, we have to come to pages first and create an area index. Area index is where you're going to say neighborhoods, communities, cities, whatever you want to call them to create that. Because you need an index first for that area page to show up.
So you go.
If you're creating the index, you'd come to pages first, click the plus sign, and then choose the template of area index and then call it something. Neighborhoods, cities, communities, whatever you want to call it.
So I get that, and like everything kind of goes away a little bit, and then it looks like this. Okay, I'm not doing it right.
So you go to pages.
Do I? I don't have one, right?
Right.
And so I didn't add.
It's about the touch screen medium travel plus. And change template to area index. That's what you're doing.
And see, that's what it does.
It's the browser. Doesn't like it. So touch screen
Doesn't like
anywhere. So what do you want to call that page then?
I'll just do like something like this.
Now this isn't going to be the individual page for property page. This is going to be what do you want to call the entire
The whole
index of all the properties together,
whole
right?
things. Okay.
So on mine, I did it as neighborhoods. You could say communities, subdivisions, whatever you want to call it. Even though I said neighborhoods, it's really cities. I wanted it to be a friendly form that people were likely to click on. You can add content if you want to it. I kind of just left it alone. Add your meta title, meta description, and then click save. Now you'll be ready to actually add area pages. So you were wanting to add Pompano Beach.
Title and all that on this one also.
I would just put on there, search neighborhoods for sale or homes for sale or something along that line with your name and your branding on it.
And what do you do for your description generally on this?
Usually it's kind of the same thing as the title, but I'll just put on there a little bit more about it. I can be more descriptive. Search homes for sale in South Florida, courtesy of Jay Cermak with the J team, Keller Williams. I mean, it's.
Does it provide an automatic search space for those communities? Like, will it show up just for that area kind of thing?
For this one, it's going to show everything that you add area-wise. The index page is just one page to see all of your areas in it. So for the index page, don't worry as much about it because the important thing is going to be each individual area page. So I'm going to come into one of these areas now. I'll just edit my Fort Lauderdale one because I want to show you how you can take it to the next level.
And it says edit menu or close?
Edit menu lets you move what order it's in. So if you want to have menu, neighborhoods to be right next to the search, you can literally arrange what order it's in by going to the menu. You can do it once you've added that page, or you can always come back to site settings and menu at any time and rearrange the order of them. So in areas, I'm going to just edit my Fort Lauderdale page. What I would recommend when you're creating your areas, just start with a list of like the cities. Have a list of all the cities together and then just create a basic page. This is my enhanced version of Fort Lauderdale page. If you just came in here and did nothing but choosing your title, area, and save it, it'll make an index of that city's listings automatically. So I would start with that at the beginning. So area, what is the page of this? I would either say the city and put the state, either FL or spell out Florida, because there is a Miami, Ohio, and a Miami, Florida. I want to make sure that they know if you're looking at the title of this page, what is it? So I did Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Type of area. This is where you're going to tell it Is it the county? I want one page for Broward. Do I want to look at the region? South Florida. Postal code. Neighborhoods gets a little tricky because there's like 16 versions of the same neighborhood down here. So locality is city. I don't like locality. It just means city. If you want a city page that will automatically pull all the listings in that city, choose locality.
I think I need help.
Then you'll get under the area, name of area, the actual city to choose.
How do I get, so I'm here, how do I get to the
Now we go to
major?
areas, and we create a new area.
Okay.
Because the index was the first part, now we can create an area. So in this case, types of area, we would choose locality. Locality. Does not like you.
It doesn't.
Alright, so areas. Let's try again. Locality. Yeah. It's not pulling up, but what will happen is you'll get the list of all the cities.
Oh, it will provide it automatically?
Correct. That's what it's actually really easy to create them when you have your, I just get an external mouse. But when your computer's working the way you want it to. So in this case, I wanted it to be about Fort Lauderdale, so I would choose Fort Lauderdale. If you did nothing else just to create these indexes, I would just run down to the bottom and hit save. Don't worry about filling in everything right away because you want at least a page to say, hey, if you come to my website, here's all the homes for sale in Fort Lauderdale. Here's all the homes for sale in Broward and Pompano Beach and Oakland Park. You just want something there, then build it out. Come back to the Fort Lauderdale page and add photos, add descriptions, add more content to it. I did it that way when I started. I just came in here under my neighborhoods. So this is my index of all the neighborhoods. I spent the time to add this little image for each one. So I'll choose one that I know has nothing in it. Let's come down to Lauderdale Lakes. I don't think I did anything to that site. This would be a basic page if all you did was tell it the title, locality, and Lauderdale Lakes as the city. Then this is what the page will look like. It's not bad. It'll have the title.
automatically come up?
Correct. It'll automatically add a map and all the properties for sale in that area.
Cool.
That's what's nice about it. And then it will have the search on the right and the get in touch, just like the basic template we've seen everywhere else.
Did you have to add the area page tile is where you added whatever?
Correct. I go to area to add each city. So I just went to Wikipedia and got a list of all the cities. Or you can go to Broward County's website and see what all the cities are and then just create them real quick.
Do you feature the area?
I haven't really featured it. I'm not quite sure if it actually shows up somewhere. It says it does, but I've checked them some and then not others, and I didn't notice anything different. Maybe certain templates recognize that better. So I just make sure that it's there and start with the basics. So in this case, Lauderdale Lakes, I just literally created a page for it and nothing else. Now, to actually take it to the next level, I'll come to my Fort Lauderdale page. And now what I can do to this page is take it from what we saw. I can add a banner slideshow up at the top where it says Fort Lauderdale, Florida, view all listings. I can add content just like I did for the blogging, videos, text. I added a little widget here that automatically updates itself from Trend Graphics about what's happening in the neighborhood. Then it goes into the map and properties for sale. I will point out that if you come to this page, when you create it, the widget's going to give you the map automatically, but the default setting on the page is sort it from high priced to low price. You don't get to control that. You'd have to come here and sort it automatically, but there isn't one to say like the most recent. That's the feature I hope we add one day because that's what it should be. If it was most recent, then the website would always be updating every day because there'd be something new every day to say, hey, we have a brand new home here.
Right.
So I'm hoping they add that. That's going to be my feedback to KW website powered by Placester. For now, though, the default on this website is always priced from high to low. So for Fort Lauderdale, I have a $29 million home, $27 million home. They can rearrange it by their price or do their own search if they want to. So if I came to that actual page, which I'm in here, the basic makeup of it is, we already went through this stuff. I don't check the box for featured. I can check it. I haven't seen it do anything yet. Slideshow. You can add up to 5 images or a couple images and just do your own little photo slideshow. Grab photos of the area or buy them. So I've purchased some. I've taken some. I took these. And and just add the images. I don't worry about the size anymore. I used to resize them and go crazy with it, driving myself nuts, trying to brand the photo and stuff. And now I just add the image and it does its own thing up above. See, here I was branding, but what I learned is that branded photo, if I was in a mobile version of it, is not going to show the text that I spent all that time fudding in there. So something to keep in mind is I think as agents we get so obsessed with how this looks on the desktop mode, we forget that it's mobile that the people are probably on most likely. So look at it in both views. Then it says heading, what's the headline? So of course I want it to be search homes for sale in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And then the body. So just like you were doing for the blogs or any of the other pages, you would come in here and add some information about it. I added a video that was a general tourist video. Some of this information came from Wikipedia, some of it I typed out. I've actually got a widget in here you'll see on my page from Trend Graphics. It's a service we subscribe to, and it lets me put in here a graphic about what's happening in there. So it's looking at April versus March of last year, looking at our listings. We're down 5%, we're here. It's just looking at that content. All right. So that is the Fort Lauderdale page. Now it does have some other stuff down the way. Like it'll ask me subheadings, body content. You can play with all these if you want to. What it does is it kind of breaks up the text. So you'll have text, then it'll add another little banner, then it will have one image on the left side, one image on the right side. You can spend time adding in all these fields. I chose to keep it simple and just literally do a page with all the content at the top and then the information down below. If you spend time adding those photos, what it will do is add like a picture on this side of it, add a picture over there. You can play around with them. I just felt like this was a little confusing to add a subheading, then a body again, and then another subheading, another body, another picture. You don't have to use that if you don't want to, but it is there if you want to add a format to it. Excerpt, just like we've been doing for everything else. If I were to copy the link from here, what would be the excerpt? And then featured image. This is very important now. If you want it to look like mine, or my neighborhoods all have the street sign or something related to the city signs, this is the featured image. So I try to get street signs of the areas if I could. Like I was at Deerfield Beach and I took a sign there. This is from Fort Lauderdale Beach. Hollandale Beach has the little painted balls there with the name on it. Hollywood, I actually took this photo while I was at a stoplight for the Hollywood water tower and stuff there. That's the kind of stuff they want to see. Lauderdale by the Sea, it's just a visual. If I were to come onto this page, I want to recognize a sign or something related to it. That's the featured image. That's why you want one. And then like everything else, we have a meta title, meta description. Homes for sale in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Homes for sale courtesy of J. Cermak. Call or text us. That kind of content. Does that make sense? Kind of, it's really the same concept. Once you get correct. So feel free to play around with them. Try it. Add an extra photo there. To me, I was about getting it created, but I didn't want to spend 16 hours trying to make this stuff. So I can come back now and add an extra little subsection and say, hey, now here's some data about the homes, or here's the process of buying a home for I can add what I want to that page. The goal is if they came here and were looking up neighborhoods and stuff, they can find what they're looking for. It'll have all the listings. So here's Cooper City. This is a basic one. I didn't do anything else to this but tell it the title and that the locality is Cooper City, Florida. And it automatically created this page to now have 33 listings from high to low of everything for sale in that neighborhood or community, technically it's city. So that's kind of how you would add the areas. So we went through the blog post, agents, testimonials, areas. So other pages you'd want to add, here's some that I've added. Home value, I told you I used as a contact form. So there wasn't a home value one on the site. I think that should be standard nowadays on websites, yet there wasn't one. I went ahead and tried a paid version, different ones, and a lot of them nowadays don't even give you a value. They just say, fill out this form and I'll call you. So I don't need to spend money on that. I can just create my own. I created a page that says home value. I called it contact page. I found a video from Keller Williams' YouTube channel. Home prices are going up in Florida. How much is your home valued at currently? This is just proving house value. It was a nice video Keller Williams made about the process of finding the value of your home. And then I wrote out, to ensure we give you the most accurate home value, please put your home address in the comment section and tell us more about the home and any updates you've done, because that really determines the value. And then I saved that page. So in my home value page, if I come to it now, you'll see what I just wrote. The title, home values are going up, here's the text I had, here's the video. To ensure we get it, fill out this form, and then when they fill out the form below and type in the address or whatever down here, I'll get an email with it. That way I can reach out to them and have a conversation. Thank you for submitting your request online. I see you've got a 3-bedroom home. Let me come over and tour it, and I'll give you the actual what my assessed value is. Because without me seeing it anyways, it's going to be a rough estimate. I don't know if they've updated the home or if it's original condition, poor condition. I can't really give them a right price without getting my foot in the door. So that would be an easy, free way to use a contact page form. Put whatever content you want down below. I can even put a picture of what an estimate looks like, or you can really build it out at a higher level. Other pages that I've added here, I did neighborhoods. I did a join Keller Williams page. So I've got a page about joining Keller Williams that's also using the contact me form. And I threw in some information about Keller Williams, a video I created about the Red Report, some content about Keller Williams. I do a profit share video every month, so I've been putting my own videos in here as well. And the whole goal is maybe they want to learn about Keller Williams and contact me at the bottom. The reason I started using the contact page form is most of the people, in my opinion, that I deal with are going to be on their phone anyways. They saw my link on Facebook, they're on their phone when they get it. So if I were to use these other templates, let's go to one that would use it. So let's say About Us. The About Us form has the listing search on the right and the Get in Touch form. If I was on a mobile phone, that's the first thing to go away. And all it does is basically make it a contact page form. Text up above, and then at the bottom it will say listing search here and get in touch. But there's no real photo or customization to it. This same page here with my contact me form does the same thing on a mobile phone, yet at the bottom it's a little nicer looking. Now it's got a phone number, a face to put with it, and the contact form. That's why I like the contact page form better. There's no wrong way to do it. Just keep that in mind. I'm finding a lot of agents spend a lot of time making it look beautiful on the desktop and don't even look at it on the phone. And the reality is your customers are not sitting on their computer as much as they used to be. They're on their phone or their tablet looking. Exactly. So that's the way they're looking at it. Just try to make sure your site is keeping that in mind. Now, I don't have the ability on the About Us page or the blogs to change that format, so that's just the page it is. But if I'm going to create my own page, just use the contact page form. That way on the mobile phone, it's going to look good. I did a join there. I did some for new construction. So Villas by the Sea was a new construction in Fort Lauderdale by the Sea. I put the title here. Since it's not an area page, I just created my own new construction pages. They give me the permission from their website to copy this information in. So I've copied their description, their photo, the differences. I don't tell them to call the showing room. I don't say here's the address to the showing room. I give them some information here and contact me so I can register you to the new construction project. That way I'm giving them what they want, and then it says multiple times in here, I said call me at this phone number throughout it. Then they've got a video they created that didn't say contact the sales associate. Content again, pictures. I really made it look nice on this page, and everything in here is a contact me. So even with this, I did a contact page on this as well. So if I come to that new construction project, Villas by the Sea, this is what it will look like on my website. All the contents up above, great photos, some descriptions. These photos came from their website with their permission to share them. A video, more about the project, and then at the bottom, a lovely contact me form.
Where did you go specifically to create this one?
I just created a simple page under pages.
So it's just a separate page?
Yep, a separate page. It'll give me the option at the end to, now that I've created the page, I want to edit my menu, and I'll show you how we're going to do that as well. Because the difference with the new construction, there's not a new construction index. So it's not like one page you go to and here's all of them. So I kind of created my own fake one. Under new construction, I just literally created a blank page that says new construction, and it put some little links in here, like click here for this, click here for that, with the goal of being new construction that I want the drop-down menu. Each of these is its own page. right. That way I'm just adding more stuff. I mean, there's 100 new construction projects, so obviously I'm not doing this instantly. I'm just going to spend my time. When I go to a new construction project, I want to post about it at that time. Create a new page about it. Instead of a blog post will be date and timestamp. A page is just a page. It just lives there. It keeps updating. There's no date on it saying this is from 5 years ago or 1 year ago. So in this case, I already did my page, so I'll show you my new construction here. This is the index page, and then each one under here is an actual individual page of its own. So how do we create a little drop-down menu? That's a cool trick. Under Site Settings, if you come to Menu, it's going to already have menu items. So everything here, like you see it, is in the order it's in. So home page first, then home search. I renamed listing search to home search. Home value, I wanted to make sure that was all close to each other. I did neighborhoods here. Now notice it's hard to see on the display up above, but it's basically just indented slightly to the right. Once this has been indented over to the right some, now it's a drop-down menu item. That's how you create a drop-down. It's actually really cool. Sure. So if I come here at the bottom, so to start off, you're not going to have all these tabs on your website. You'll have a couple. When you come to the bottom, next to Add, it's going to be a list of every page you've ever created. It'll all be here. So if you created a new one, I've got ones I don't have in here yet. So let's just say, gallery lofts, if I hadn't added that yet. I would choose that page I want and click the Add button. Now, if I want this to be under my new construction page, I'm going to click this and drag it into the order I want it in. So I'm going to move this up. It's already in there, but that's okay. And what you do to get it as an indent is either put it on top of the main title of the page or right below it. It'll start indenting. See how it's kind of moving it off to the right some? Left, just slightly to the right. And if I let go, that becomes the order of that drop-down menu. Yep. So in this case, I already had that one. I can remove that one. And I can reorder these. I can rearrange them. If I want to rearrange them in any way, what's my main project I'm working on? Maybe there's a new update. And then I would click Save. That method of changing those little drop-downs is how it becomes this. Otherwise, it'll just be click on each item and then the drop-down. So like there isn't one for neighborhoods. I don't want all 100 cities to click on, but what are the main ones I'm working? So Broward County, Fort Lauderdale, Lauderdale-by-the-Sea, Wilk Manors. I just did a couple, so if someone were on a desktop, they would see it. Here's the trick. If you're on a mobile phone, they're probably not going to notice half of those. If I came to the little 3 lines in the mobile version, then it's going to have the links up above. Here's all the little drop-downs. So it's still there. It just works a little bit differently. So they can still click on it and see it, but they're going to be scrolling to get to it. So don't spend a lot of time, worrying about having it indented or not indented. My goal is to just want to make it as user-friendly on the desktop or the mobile version. I think drop-downs are a great way to quickly find a page I'm looking for and help index it. That's all it's doing. Okay, so we did that page. What are some other ones I've added here? I did new construction. I added a separate one for sellers resources and buyers resources. It's a blank page. And all I did in here is I literally used all my KW videos. So KW Video gives you 6 free videos a month that you can create, and then they change. And I created all these videos with my subscription to them, and I just made it one page of all the videos. So you can make actual content about sellers, content about buyers, or in my case, I just literally did a title and pasted my YouTube video. So it's in one page, all the videos together, with the contact me form at the bottom. Well, I want them to contact me, see my face. They want to see my face everywhere because if you're in the mobile version, guess what you don't see? My logo's important in mobile. My face, if they click there, they might see it. It's just another opportunity to be face-to-face with them, so to speak. All right, so I did that. Mobile app, you actually can add a separate link for any site. So if you wanted resources of, here's Fort Lauderdale's links to things, under menu, it does have the ability for you to add your own custom website. So I already did one for the mobile app, so I'll show you that one here. If I came down to the bottom, it'll say custom URL next to add, and I can add any website that I want. It's basically just you're adding a menu item, but it's instead of it going to a page, it'll take you off the website to something else. So when it comes to the mobile app, you can do this by adding one and then saying the label is what is the menu item called? Mobile app. That's what I called it. URL, what's the link to my mobile app? So I would copy and paste it in there. And then tooltip is if I hover my mouse over the menu title, what does it say about it? So I can just say search homes on the go with my mobile app, download from the App Store or Google Play today. It looks long, but I'll actually show you it's not too bad. So I saved that item. I'll refresh my screen here. Mobile app, if I hover my mouse over it now, is going to say what I just typed out. Search homes on the go with my mobile app, download from the App Store today. It's just giving you a description about what am I clicking on. And when they click this link, it takes them off my website. It automatically does it as a new tab, so I don't have to lose them on my website, which is good. And then here's the link to now download my mobile app. So if they're on their phone and they click that link, it would take them to the App Store. If they're on their computer, it would take them to this page.
You don't have like that's not in the notes, right?
That one's not in the notes, but I did do a separate video on that on KW Connect.
Can you send that to me?
Yeah. All right. So that's kind of just some of the stuff you can add. Anything you want to add to a website, start getting ideas. What's something that they added? Most likely it's going to be a page if it doesn't meet one of these requirements up above. If it's not a blog post, if it's not agents, testimonials, or areas, then you would want to add your own page, like I did for new construction, for home value, seller resources. There's no limit. You can create 1 million pages if you want to. It won't tell you you ran out of room. You just need to make sure you find a way to organize it and put it all together. So as you can see, I've got a lot of content on my website that someone's going to come here and stay here for a while. That's the whole goal. If you came here to look for a home and want to learn about the buying process, or I did one for market update, that's a cool one you can do, where I actually used a market update with the KW video about our real estate market stats, and then I used trend graphics to embed a little graphic in here to show them what's happening. So I can see in March, for Broward County single-family homes, there were 4,600 homes for sale and 1,237 sold. It updates itself. It's a really cool widget. I'll show you, there's a cool way to do that if you subscribe to Trend Graphics. We subscribe to it as an office, so it's a tool that I have, and in Trend Graphics there's an option that says share to the web. And I copy that little code, paste it on my website here, and now this page will automatically update with the latest market stats. So it's a true, actual Broward County market update if you came here, and I can break it down by there. My next goal is I want to go to each page, like Fort Lauderdale's page, and add that little widget of here's just homes for sale in Fort Lauderdale. Here's homes for sale in Wilton Manors. Whatever city, I can take it to the next level. Like I said, none of this happens overnight. This has been an evolution now for several months, almost a year of me working on this website. You start thinking, hey, I wish I had a page for this, wish I had a page for that, and you just keep coming back. Your website should just be a living, breathing document. You're going to keep coming and adding stuff. So while today it might be very basic, imagine what it looks like a year from now. You know, over time, you'll get to this level. Okay, the last thing in here on my little document, and thanks for staying a little bit later, would just be some of the advanced stuff that I don't cover in the main site. So under site settings, the other things that we don't usually talk about are here under more. Mainly under site tracking and site verification. Site tracking is your ability to add Google Analytics. So if you like, I get overwhelmed with it. I'm just showing you it's here if you want to do that. It's in my instruction sheet. But the goal is some people like looking at it. Like Lori Ballin's an agent in Vegas. She's obsessed with looking at Google Analytics. But you can get lost in there. She spends like hours a day looking at every little detail about it. It'll tell you who's been on your website, what country they're from, what device they're on, what gender they are, what age they might be. I mean, there's a lot of information it can tell you. To see.
My son uses that up in Pennsylvania.
It's great, however, don't get overwhelmed with it. The cool thing is if you do it, it's actually very easy to put your little code here. So tracking ID from Google Analytics, I just copied this from my Google account, pasted it here. I don't think I've been on it in a while.
Where do you get the ID?
If you look to the right, it says if you don't know it, find your tracking ID. There's a little help thing.
Okay.
You basically go to Google Analytics with your Gmail account, and it will give you a code. Once you put that code in your website, it'll start tracking your website's traffic. Who's been on the site, where have they come from, what pages are hot, what pages are not. It's just the ability for you to add it.
Email, it doesn't
It's tracking your website. You need a Gmail account to access anything Google's tools, which we already have one with our @KW email address as a Google account, or you can create your own, just a free Gmail account. Once you have it, it's Google's ability to track your website on who's been there, when they've been there, times of the day, things like that. I haven't used the conversion tracking as much. This is more for Google Ads. If I want to see if they went to my page and then bought from an ad and things like that, that's where I can put my conversion labels. This is a newer feature they have here, and then the coolest one they just added is Facebook pixel tracking. Facebook Ads has an option to say, only target people who have been to my website. That way, if I do a pixel, they give you the code, follow the instructions to the right, you just literally copy one code in here, and then what it does is when you run an ad, I can say only target an ad to people who have been to my website. That way, it'll know John Smith is on your website here because of the pixel code, and I'm going to run an ad only John Smith sees it, so I don't run it to everybody. It's something more, it's going to be automatically integrated in with our new Facebook tool coming out in June with Keller Williams. But for now, if you want to start at least getting the code in here, you copy it from your Facebook account, it puts it in here, and that's all you have to do. It's already on your website, and Facebook can track who's been on the website from Facebook. So those are some neat things if you want to kind of track it. Site verification, I did this, is basically where you can go to these different tools and verify you're the owner of the website. It just helps with rankings. So I did that with Google. You can see some of their instructions are up above. It'll say go here for site verification. It's just them giving you a code to have on your website so that they can verify it's really your website. So I did that for Google. I did it for Pinterest because I just clicked a link on Pinterest that said verify your account. I haven't done it yet for Bing or Google+, so I want to get on those. All it's going to do is help when it goes to Google. Google can say you're an authentic site because they verified your site is who you say you are with your account. That's what the site verification does. And that's kind of it as far as adding content. So you'll keep adding things, take advantage of your additional tracking if you want to do that, or if you don't do it yourself, have somebody who wants to monitor your website do it for you to see if your ads are working or if people are coming to your website when they're coming. And then add as much content as you want.
That's awesome, Jay. Thank you.
Any questions on this site website stuff?
Oh, there's so many I'm gonna email you about later.
That's okay. So take it one page at a
I
time.
came in because I have a question that has nothing to do with this. I was just
Okay.
waiting for you.
Yep, we'll come right back to that after it's done. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop our video. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching this on KDB Connect, please feel free to follow me. And if you could, if you want a copy of our handout from the class today, just simply email me at j.cermak@kw.com.